Hello Empowered Tribe, welcome back to my channel. We are right now in the month of July. Can you believe it? I feel like 2022 just swing by so fast and it's already like we're in the 7th month, and before you know it, we're gonna be Thanksgiving, it's gonna be Christmas. I wanted to come online again. Every month we have some different series that we go into. If you're new to my channel, Empowered Life TV is all about women empowerment, sharing tools, ideas, or discussion around women issues. And I'm so happy that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy my value add content. And if you have any feedback on what you want to see more of, please feel free to drop your comments below. Today's episode really is really sharing my story. I want to say, like, about a week ago, silly story, I was watching this Sense8 series with my husband. I don't know if you watch Sense8 on I think it's Netflix, but anyway, one of the characters reminded me of my uncle, and I decided that I was gonna go and search for him online, and I actually found him on Facebook. And it's kind of unexpected. I wasn't sure what prompted this, but I always, this very recently I've been really drawn to researching more about my heritage, my history, my culture. I was just sharing with my husband, like, my family has such a rich culture background because my mom is Chinese and my dad is Indonesian, so there is a lot of rich ancestry and history behind those two different culture, and I wanted to really learn more. And partly too, I feel like it's going to help me in my recovery. As I, grow up, there's a lot of trauma that had happened in my past. You can check out my past videos to just kind of learn more about me, but I wanted to really understand, because I think it's really the important part of healing is really understand pieces of you, or understanding the why, to come to peace with those areas that maybe you struggle with. So a big part of my history is, growing up in a single family mom, single family with, a single mom. And my dad is around a lot at the beginning when I was a kid, and then he, after my parents got divorced, it just kind of went, we just kind of got separated from that side of the family. um but I know more about, obviously, because my mom raised me mostly. um and I left home at 16, so a lot of that beginning chunk of my life is spent with my mom. And I can see that she's struggling and conflicted, and she's very emotional, and she has a lot going on, and she has her quirks and her personality that can be very domineering and hard for us to understand as kids. But I think that the healing journey begins with understanding, and a big piece of wanting to discover that was because of that. So I'm hoping that my uncle is able to fill in some of the pieces that I'm missing, um, in order to understand my mom better and her background. Because I think the past experiences shape who we are. Trauma that had happened make us see the world differently. Obviously, everybody is different in the way we think, and I think that going back to connect with those pieces of the past would really help me understand better. And I really believe in breaking the cycle, whatever that cycle is. And I think that there is a lot of different history in my family that is a pattern that I'm seeing, that I feel like it's not healthy, and I definitely do not want to continue that for my family. And so I want to be the first in the generation to break that cycle. So funny thing, I was, all growing up, my mom don't mention too much about her family background. Well, partly some of it, so the family dynamics is such that my grandpa actually has two wives, and my mom is essentially the daughter of the mistress. And I think that there was a lot of trauma in the past around that, um, because obviously that wasn't like a respectable uh, relationship to have. And I think that that probably impacted how she grew up in that environment. Maybe a lot of fear, a lot of trauma, and I'm sure a lot of anger, a lot of shame, and maybe that's why she is so tough in the sense that uh, not just in terms of how she handled things, like she has grit, but also hard, as in it's harder for her to empathize. There is a point in my life where it was really hard for me to empathize with people when I went through all the hardships in my life, because you do get to a point where you're like, you think that the issues that you're facing is so terrible, like, let me tell you my life story, that kind of thing. And but I realized that that's really not the right mindset to have, because just because it's less painful for me, or just because it's, you know might not affect me as much because I have bigger problems in my mind, doesn't make how you feeling less important, right? And I think that we don't want to minimalize how people feel, because maybe to them that truly is end of the world. And to empathize and have that worldview of understanding, you know why this person is responding this way. And that's why for the month of July, I really want to dive into culture and heritage, and really understand family dynamics, family background, culture background, and really expand a little bit around worldview. I think as I grow older, it's really important for me to be able to pass that along to my children, especially with such a rich background of culture and diversity. I really want them to carry that on and remember and know the stories, and so that they are able to tell their children. I think that this generation is missing out on a lot of those pieces, because obviously with technology, with COVID, with the exposure of being together is less, and especially togetherness in terms of enjoying events and cultural activities, hand me down traditions, might not be as rich as it was before. So I think it's important to carry those things down to the next generation, so that they are able to enjoy that with their children. And so I wanted to share this because I'm inspired by it, I'm moved by it, and I feel like it's the universe way of trying to open and expand my mind. I think that with more understanding and more empathy and more openness to accept and to discover the past, has allowed me more forgiveness and more empathy for some of the past mistakes that I probably have felt was done to me. But again, I think in the grand scheme of things, it's really just understanding that we are all humans and we are on different journeys, and the worldview and the background, culture, heritage define and shape who we are, and it might have contributed to some of the reasons why people behave the way they do. But I think that if you are open to understanding and discover, and allow the forgiveness, allow space for people to help you understand their story. It really helps you build a deeper connection with them, and be able to truly understand why they're coming from, where they're coming from, and be able to embrace and include and accept people for who they are, at where they are, because I think we are all on different journeys. Some people are more ahead than others, and some people have journeys that are more advanced in certain aspects, and some are not as. But then I think we all have something to learn from each other, and I'm hoping that for the month of July, while we dive into my heritage and my understanding and my journey of understanding, and dissecting why, um, I hope that it will help you too. I think that sometimes we talk about going back into our past and studying and understanding, and how is this empowerment? It is because it takes courage to want to do that. Because what if you don't really, you know, want to hear or learn things that might be a little bit of a shocker to you? Because you have to be open to the possibility that would possibly happen. But I just wanted to take you on a journey, because this is already, obviously I've been on this journey for a while, and so I am more open and more brave to face things that could be things that I really don't want to see or want to hear. But I think for some people who are starters, who are kind of at the beginning journey of curiosity of how do I go about doing it, I have no idea, where do I start. I think this will be a good place for them to hopefully get inspired and maybe start their journey from some place, and really identifying some of the patterns that might be from the past, that you are bringing forward. And I think the main thing is, if it is something that is of value and useful and you can learn from, I definitely want to pass it down to my children. But if it's something that is a pattern that is not the healthiest, and I think that it's important to have the power and the tools to be able to break that cycle. Well, I hope this video helped you understand a little bit more about my background, and I hope that it probably stirs some curiosity within you to maybe dive into your own background and find out more about the culture and heritage where you come from, and the patterns and things that you want to bring forward into your future family, or your family now, and to break the cycle that might be a stronghold, and it's affecting your family. So I hope to start this series, and hopefully you check out my following episodes from the series, and let me know what you enjoy or what you like about it, or what you want to learn more about, so that I can share more content that would make sense to you. If you like my channel, please like, subscribe, click on the bell button for notifications, and share. And I would love to see you again in my next video. Bye guys.